What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for some daily content where we get to watch me suffer. And this one is great. This one you're probably gonna enjoy. So let's go ahead and get started first, and then we can talk about the workout. We are off, 3, 2, 1, and I just picked up the wall ball. So what are we doing here? My knee's feeling a little bit better in certain circumstances of like squatting, like lightweight or like movements like wall balls, where, obviously a 20-pound wall ball won't drive me into the hole. And so I told Andrew, hey, I feel comfortable doing some of these movements. We should do some of these. And so he decided to pretty much fully assault my body. Go figure. Anyways, this workout is a 20-minute time cap. It is 75 wall balls at 20 pounds. And then straight into 4 rounds of 10 box step overs at 70 pounds on a 24-inch box, which is in the background if you see it behind me. And then 5 devil's press at the same dumbbells at 70 pounds. After you finish the 4 rounds, you go back to the wall balls, do 75 wall balls, which is what Andrew's actually doing right now. But instead of a 20-pound wall ball, we are using a 30-pound wall ball. So pretty much this workout is the definition of grunt work. This workout put me in the ground and made me feel like a lesser person. It made me feel like I don't really deserve to go to the games. I feel like I just got smacked across the face with the workout. So let's talk about the workout itself. And let's enjoy Andrew dropping the ball. Look how sweaty his ball is right now. That is so disgusting. The past couple days, this past week in Kansas has been one of the hottest weeks so far of the summer. And when I say the hottest, I mean like no one really cares about the temperature. It really comes down to the heat index and humidity. So everything is wet. Everything is sweating. I mean, even for some reason, I think the dumbbells even sweat. Like the barbells sweat. Like you'd be like, oh, look at that bar, it looks nice and like dry. And then you touch it and you're like, oh, that thing's wet. How'd it get wet? Oh, it's because the barbell's sweating. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so this workout, how I approached it, or how Andrew and I both approached it, we actually approached it in similar ways, was the first 70 to 75 is 75 wall balls at 20 pounds. Depending upon who you are, of course, shouldn't be very difficult. Though I will venture to say, be careful and how you approach the 75 wall balls at 20 pounds, because if you just go ham out the gate and do them unbroken because you're like, cause I can, then it might be an issue where it might hit you in the face later. This is actually pretty funny. I wish I could go back and talk about that. So it's so hot, we fight over fans in the barn. I thought if I moved that fan in the middle of the workout, Andrew wouldn't notice, nor would he care, because I figured he'd be done pretty soon. And no, he definitely noticed. He took that fan back. So go back and rewatch it if you want to. Anyways, so 75 wall balls. Be careful, going unbroken just because you can doesn't mean sometimes you should. Andrew and I both went unbroken. Jake broke it up. Jake went before us because we are limited in the amount of dumbbells we had. We had to waterfall the workout. So I actually started my workout pretty much when he was done with the 4-rounder, because then I'm guaranteed that I don't need to, that he'll be off the wall balls when I get there. So be careful on 75 wall balls. Now again, if you're a female, the wall ball weight should be 14 pounds for the first set of 75, and then 20 pounds, so the men's RX weight, for your scaled up weight for the final 75 reps. Now let's talk about the 4-rounder, right? So I think I got there, we should look at the clock. I think I got there at I know I got down my wall balls at 2 minutes and 25 seconds, but it really depends on when I decide to grab the dumbbells for my 10 box step overs, which I probably grabbed them at 3:45 or 2:45. So a nice goal for the 10 and the 5 for the 4-rounder would be to finish the 4-rounder in around 8 minutes, right? Because that gives you 1 minute per each movement. So 10 box step overs at 70 pounds shouldn't take you a minute, right? It should be 40 seconds, which is fine, but you gotta figure it's hot. You've already done 75 wall balls. You're trying to I have a towel behind my chalk bucket that I'm using in between reps, you'll see, or in between sets, because it's so sweaty there that I can't barely grab anything. And the dumbbells are a chalky mess at this point. So if we're looking at it, I'm actually ahead of schedule. So if we assume that I started my 4-rounder at 2:45, then I should be finishing every 2 minutes. Because honestly, 5 devil's press at 70 pounds is probably gonna take around 45 seconds to a minute. So there we go. I mean, that's pretty much on the dot. So I'm starting my second round 2 minutes and 5 seconds after it, you know, somewhat close to 2 minutes a round. Hopefully I speed it up. So let's talk about scaling options for this workout if you're attempting this workout, right? So it's a good discussion to have. Scaling options. So, I mean, first of all, the wall balls shouldn't be an issue. At least the 20-pounder, the first wall ball weight shouldn't be an issue. If it is, so if like, let's say for instance, like 75 wall balls at 20 pounds for a male is really difficult and will probably take you like 5 minutes, then scale it down. You want to move through this workout, right? So I'm not saying your 75 wall balls should be completely unbroken, you know, for the first 20. Like, I'm not saying that. Jake didn't do it unbroken. I'm saying, you know, it shouldn't take you 5 to 6 minutes to do it. So pick a weight that you can do maybe in 2 sets, maybe 3, but preferably 2. So that might be a 14-pound wall ball for you males, and it might be a 10-pound wall ball for you females, and that's completely fine. Keep the intensity high, right? This workout was so terrible. It was so hot that day that we just died. So then the wall balls. So keep it intense that way. Keep it so you can go somewhat unbroken. Try for it. You know, shouldn't take 5 to 6 minutes like I mentioned. So next up is the dumbbells. I know that 70 pounds is really heavy and it's understandable. So maybe choose a dumbbell weight that I did all my box step overs unbroken. I don't think Andrew or Jake did, so you don't have to do them unbroken. And you know, obviously my devil's press not unbroken. I'm putting the dumbbell down and resting. So, but it shouldn't. The 4-rounder shouldn't take you like 3 minutes for each round, right? If the first round takes you 3 minutes, then you have an issue. So choose a weight where you're moving, but you're not like you're not moving too fast, but you're not moving too slow, right? Hard to explain that. Like, you want to finish in the time cap. So maybe for a men's scaling weight, do 50s. And that's completely fine. I know for when Ellie did this, we had her use 35s. And that's mainly because the 50s were just too much for devil's press for her. Especially with how hot it was and what she did before it. And then of course when you come back to the wall balls, choose a weight. At that point, like, the second wall ball weight should be heavier than the first. So if you're a male and use a 20, use a 30. If you're a male and you use the 14, then in their first set of 75, then use a 20. Like, it should be heavier, right? You shouldn't be sticking in the same wall ball. And I know it's gonna suck, and it does suck, and it did suck. And the 75, it shouldn't be like, you shouldn't get down with your 4-rounder and approach the wall ball and be like, I'm gonna go unbroken. Like, it should be really difficult. And you're about to watch me struggle on my 75 wall balls because I'm so blown at that point. And it's not even, blown might be a bad definition. It's just at this point, I'm sweating profusely. It's everywhere. I'm dripping everywhere, and it's just hard to grab onto things. And you know, like at that point, it's almost like you're fighting dehydration in the middle of a workout. It's just been, past couple days in Kansas has been pretty stinking hot. I know everyone says that about their place, but I'm not kidding. It's pretty hot. And when you only have, you know, the bad part about my barn is there's only airflow on one side, one face of the barn, so it's really kind of a dead zone of air, and that's why we have the fans. So right now, I think we're inside finishing up my 3rd round of devil's press, I think. And man, are we moving slow. We are moving slow. So really, let's talk about like devil's press. Like, there are a couple different ways to do devil's press. I know, obviously devil's press usually are done with 50 pounds. And you can go heavier, and usually a devil's press, let me clarify that, usually, it's one fluid motion from the ground to overhead, meaning I'm not stopping at my shoulders and then pausing and then clean jerking it or pressing it or whatever, you know, it's one fluid, almost like a double dumbbell snatch, essentially. And so, that really changed a while ago when Dubai, the first sanctioned event this year, actually did a devil's press, but I think it was like 85 pounds or 90 pounds. It was heavy. And they let people know that you didn't have to pause at, you could pause at the shoulder and turn it essentially into a clean and jerk. It was essentially a clean and jerk with a pause in between it for devil's press. And so they allowed that. And so, I mean, if it's like a 70 pound, no, yeah, I'm done with that. If it's a 70 pound dumbbell, in this workout, I think I'd prefer if you do one fluid motion, you know, you're not pausing. Now, if you're getting near like your third or fourth round, you have to pause, that's totally understandable like this. No one's gonna judge you for that. But I think in this workout, you should at least try so the first couple rounds are a smooth transition from the ground to the overhead, whereas maybe in your fourth round or the end of your third, there might be a clean and jerk pause in there, and that's fine, but it shouldn't be that way in the beginning. And if it is, then you need to choose a lighter weight. Because typically, when I say devil's press, it means one fluid motion from ground to overhead, whereas Dubai did it a little bit differently, and that's fine. You know, they can make their own rules, but especially when you get that heavy, like the 85 or 90 pounds, it's probably going to be a clean and jerk, especially if it's two of them. All right, so we're finishing up our fourth and final round. I'm finishing up the fourth and final round of this. I move the fans to create optimal windage in this workout. Let's see, I think I did my first set of wall balls in 2 minutes and 25 seconds like we talked about. Of course, that's at 20. Now, really, when it comes down to it, when you really ask yourself, if you have to do 50 wall balls for time in a 20 or 50 wall balls for time in a 30, they should be pretty similar. It's not like the extra 10 pounds is gonna create that much speed, slowness, or whatever in your squat or whatever. Honestly, the ball should fall faster, but it also should go up probably a little slower too. So let's see what the comparable time is, right? So if 225 was my first 75, and that was, of course, was unbroken. This is not gonna be unbroken. I pick up the ball, let's say at 11:30. Let's see what it looks like for a 30. And I believe for my 30, my first set was somewhere around 20. I know Andrew mentioned that he went with 30 in the first set, which I think he actually did 20 in the first set, and then broke it a few times. And sometimes when it comes to like doing wall balls in a really hot and humid place, it's not even the fact that you had to break because your legs were shot. Sometimes it's like Andrew actually broke because the ball was slippery and it smacked him in the face. And that happens. Like the ball gets wet and you'll see me wipe my ball down. The ball gets wet, your hands are wet, it slips and hits smacked in the face. No one wants to get in the face with a 30-pound wall ball, and usually that'll make it stop. So right there, you saw I kind of worked for 30 seconds, rest for 20 seconds. And I believe I might have done 15 there. I might not have even got to 20. I stink so bad. You know, if I grew my hair out in this workout, or like I had long hair in this workout, it'd be a really cool like Pantene Provine or like Maybelline commercial, or like for like hair products, because my hair could be like blowing in the wind as I'm throwing this wall ball up, like just, you know, like I'm just like, oh, this wall ball is so heavy, and the wind's just blowing my hair, and I'm just looking really sexy. I digress. Anyway, so I think I'm at 30. I honestly, guys, this is like 2 days ago. I don't even recall my sets on this workout. I just recall it being really terrible. So let's see, if I start at 11:30, then right now I'm coming up on the 2-minute mark, and I doubt I'm even halfway. Halfway being 35 or 37 and a half, I guess. Let's see, 3. I think that's 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm probably, it looks like I'm doing sets of 15. And honestly, that's what I told Jake, is sets of 15 aren't bad. Like it's 5 sets of 15. And so 15 wall balls usually takes about 30 seconds worth of a workout, or worth of a minute. Worth of work, I should say. And so you could really go 75 wall balls at a 30 at the end of a workout in 5 minutes pretty comfortably, knowing that you could work for 30 seconds and rest for 30 seconds approximately, right? So I think you can actually go a little bit faster than that, because you probably don't need to rest for a whole 30 seconds. Maybe if you rest for 20, that will take you down to like maybe like 4 minutes and 30 seconds to finish 75, and that's a pretty good plan. Like I think what happens is when people will attack this workout or do this workout, you'll approach it the last set of 30, the last wall balls with 30 pounds, and they'll try to go huge sets unbroken, and that can be really detrimental because you'll blow yourself up. Okay, so I just passed the 3-minute mark. Wish I knew how many I had left. I would bet if I'm grabbing the ball if I'm grabbing the ball that fast, I bet this is my last set. Let's see here. I think this is my last set. Let's see. Because I'm coming up on the 4-minute mark. Oh, this will be sub 4. Yep, there we go. So 512 or 50. That was just a whole lot of legs and grunt work. That was a lot of squats today. And that is true, like I haven't actually done the editing or commenting on the other video, but the other work I did before this earlier in the day involved a lot of squat cleans at 245. And so for me right now, it's my knee's getting a little better and I need to be careful, but I have to realize that I need to increase that leg endurance, because if I don't have leg endurance come the game, it's gonna be, I'm gonna suffer quite a bit when it comes to workouts where I need to clean something for multiple reps or do a lot of wall balls or do a lot of front squats, whatever the case may be. So anyways, if you guys wanna watch a video just like this, click right here. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, guys. Talk to you guys later. See ya.